At the end of the Warring States period, 100 schools of thought were in dispute. And in this arena of intense strife, a philosopher, with his deep and calm strokes, sketched out an ideal world of rational order. He was not a transcendent wanderer like the Taoists, nor was he an emotional preacher of love like Mencius. He was Xunzi, a realist thinker who centered on the theory of sex and evil, and the equal importance of rights and laws. Today, we enter his spiritual world to find out why he emphasized so much on order, rationality, and the power of man's own transformation in a chaotic world. Xunzi, using logic and reason to set another calm tone for Chinese philosophy. Xunzi, courtesy name Qing, was born in Lanling, in the state of Zhao. Born at the end of the Warring States period, he experienced the division of vassals and frequent wars, and also witnessed the development of Confucianism from the way of Confucius and Mencius to a tool of the court. Xunzi was a young and intelligent man who taught at the Jishi Academy and was the representative of the most systematic philosophical system in the Jishi school. He served in the government 3 times, but was eventually ostracized by his political opponents and went into hiding. He was a rich writer, and his book Xunzi, with 32 manuscripts, is one of the most complete systems among the pre-Qin scholars. He twice criticized Mencius, arguing that the doctrine of sexual goodness lacked a basis in reality, while he built a viable philosophy of transformation oriented toward human nature and state governance based on social reality. The root of Xunzi's philosophy is a profound examination of human nature. He said, "Man's nature is evil, and his goodness is false." In his view, man's nature is not inherently good, but tends toward profit, good desires, selfishness, and inordinateness. If left unguided, it leads to contention and chaos. Therefore, morality is not innate, but the fruit of acquired indoctrination. This view is not pessimistic, but a starting point for realism. He does not fantasize about the goodness of human nature, but believes that through education and institutions, people can be molded to be good, upright, and agreeable. He emphasized pseudo, or artificial processing, as the central driving force of human civilization. Water is not differentiated. If it is decided to be something, then something is injected into it. Human nature is indistinguishable. If it is transformed into good and evil, then good and evil will come into being. Education, etiquette, and culture are the dikes that draw the water, the tools that lead the chaotic human nature to order. Xunzi put forward the political ideology of elevating the rights and emphasizing the law. According to him, rights are the most fundamental system of human civilization, the guarantee of living in a group without contradiction, and dealing with a crowd without disorder. Ritual is not a formalistic red tape, but a sophisticated system that maintains social hierarchy, emotional expression and ethical order. Law, on the other hand, is the bottom line of rights, the final guarantee against the return of society to a state of chaos. Unlike the legalists, Xunzi does not regard law as a tool of violence, but rather as complementary to rights, together building the skeleton of a civilized society. Ritual is the basis of law, law is the use of ritual. Politically, he advocated the rule of the state by the virtuous, the parallelism of the king's way and the rule of law, and the enhancement of the monarch's qualities through education, and the checks and balances on selfish desires through institutions. The ruler is the boat, the common people are the water. Water carries the boat, water overturns the boat. In his view of the universe, Xunzi distanced himself significantly from Confucius, Mencius, and even the Taoists. He opposed the doctrine of the mandate of heaven, emphasizing that heaven acts with constancy, and that nature operates with its own laws, which are not shaken by human affairs. Xunzi believed that man and nature should be governed separately. There is a time for heaven, a time for earth, and a time for man to rule. Instead of praying and complaining to heaven in the face of nature, man should realize social and personal goals through his own efforts. Man's determination to overcome heaven. This idea of separation of heaven and man is a rationalist view rarely found in Chinese philosophy. It inspired later generations to emphasize science, education and institution building, a crucial turn from theocracy to rational governance. Although Xunzi was historically marginalized by Confucian orthodoxy, his disciple Han Fizi pioneered legalism. His views on education influenced Dong Zhongshu to develop rites and rituals, and his political philosophy became the theoretical cornerstone of the Han dynasty's institution building. Xunzi's thought was a bridge connecting Confucianism, legalism and Taoism. With the calm vision of realism, he provided the idealists with the basis for their system. Today, in the face of the social reality of accelerating technology, expanding desires, and fissuring values, we can still find answers from Xunzi. How can education mold people? How can a system correct desires? How can reason counteract superstition and violence? This is precisely the contemporary expression of Xunzi's philosophy. Like a calm engineer of thought, Xunzi does not depict utopia or advocate personal divinity, but tells us, the goodness of man is not a gift from heaven, but the result of his own efforts to shape it. If a man can flock, he cannot do so without benevolence and righteousness. If a man can rule, he cannot do so without rights and laws. He believed that institutions could tame desires, and that rites and music could edify the heart. He believed that behind civilization is the persistence of goodness from generation to generation. And today, understanding Xunzi may be the beginning of rethinking how we should face ourselves, society, and the future.